Hi, thanks for watching my video about this market. I'm Cathy Naiser with Keller Williams Realty. I've been an agent for since 2005, and my team and I have over time sold over 1,000 homes. Now I am primarily a solo agent at Keller Williams. I'm also a broker. So I'm going to try to give you a lot of information in a very short period of time, tell you about the market, and then what that means for you if you still want to sell your home. And of course, I'll show you why I would love to meet with you if that is the case. So, first of all, this is not the market for everybody. If you have a need to sell, meaning you really need to downsize, you really need to upsize, you've had some kind of life event that really means you need to sell the home, then this is a good time to sell. You just have to prepare it and price it properly. And then be sure you have an agent that's promoting it properly as well. Let's look at a couple of charts that I have, and I'll show you what's happened in the market and what continues to be happening. So this is a chart of San Antonio and surrounding counties, our MLS, our multiple listing service, from 2017 through 2025. If you notice, these blue lines are the number of houses on the market each month, and that does go up and down in the spring and summer, and a little bit lower than in the fall and winter. However, these red lines here are the number of sales each month. They go up and down as well. They're almost the same. So the ability to sell in the summer and in the winter is really about the same because this ratio is the same. Now, this is 2017, 18, 19. This went down to COVID. Almost no houses on the market. It was a feeding frenzy. After COVID went up, then in 2023 went up, 2024 went up, and 2025 went up. In fact, in November of 2025, we had 17,000 homes on the market. It was crazy. If you notice in December, it did jump down a little bit, and the sales went up slightly. If you look back, though, in the past Novembers and Decembers, that typically happens. And what that means is, right in December, a lot of people take their homes off the market. And in December, I think a lot of people try to sell their home or get it to close in December, sellers and buyers, lenders and agents, so they can get the tax credit, so they can get the sales credit in that year. So sales that would normally happen in December are actually rushed sometimes to happen in December, which makes December tick up more, and January looks slower. But let's look now at the inventory over time. So this is a chart from the Texas A&M Real Estate Research Center, the foremost area for data. You can even access it as well. But this shows the months of inventory over time. So inventory means those houses that are on the market at the rate they're selling, how many months would it take to sell all of them if nothing new came on? And that means that's the number of months of inventory. Now, if you notice back in 2000, we had around a 5 month inventory, a little bit less for something. Same thing 2002 and 3. In 2005, when we had the feeding frenzy back then, mortgage heyday, if you will, the inventory was very low. Then in the Great Recession, it went up high. Now, this is a 7 month inventory. In November of 2025, we also had a 7 month inventory. These are the year-long inventories. So this is the Great Recession. Then it went back down to just over a 5 month inventory. Since then, it's been low. Until COVID, it went way low. And then it went up, 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 and up. And here we are today with the same inventory we had in 2012. So that's powerful and important for you to understand. So if agents are telling you, oh, it's great, it's going to be greater, better this year, this is year, everything's going to turn around, I would interview a couple of other ones and interview agents who sell a lot of homes and have done that for a long time because we know something that most other agents don't know. And that's that this is probably going to continue. And with all the things going on in the world, the upset in the world, the upheaval across the planet, that scares people and that creates a shift in the market. It is clearly a buyer's market right now, and that means certain things for you as a homeowner. Again, as I said before, if you don't need to sell, don't. This isn't the time. But if you have a really good reason, then be smart about it and have a good strategy. When I meet with you, that's what we can come up with. First of all, you need to prepare your property. And buyers are wanting diamonds or deals. And if it's not a diamond, they want a deep deal. So they're going to even go lower if your home has old paint, old carpet. They won't even make an offer in this market. It it needs new paint. It needs new carpet. Go ahead and do it. We can meet and talk about what are the most effective things to do. Another thing that I'm finding, if your home is more than 7 years old, I recommend to my sellers that you get a pre-home inspection. We are having so many contracts fall through. The other agent, an agent in my office said that a house had fallen through and gone back on the market for the third time. And it's almost always around the inspection and repairs. So if you do one in advance, you do some of the repairs before you put it on the market, then you stop that from happening. And you can show all the things you did or how great the inspection came out on the listing. So for people who work with me, if you do that pre-listing inspection, then from my commission, I will reimburse you for it at closing so that you don't lose money on it. They actually sell and work with me. Now, so getting the home ready, both cosmetically and the important things is a key thing, and then pricing it and watching it and moving the price when you need to. Yes, homes are staying on the market, but the ones that are moving are the ones that are priced well, or their agent is doing something special to get the information out. So I've been doing something the last 6 months and just recently a lot where every time I do it, we get more showings. Every time I do it, we get more showings. So I'll be happy to tell you about that when we sit down and talk. So it is a different market. It's a buyer's market. We just have to swallow that frog. It is a buyer's market. If you're selling and buying, well, you get to reap the benefits on the buy side, even though you may have to give up some on the selling side. And the other thing that's important to remember in this market, in a buyer's market, is that the buyers are going to probably ask you for their closing costs. Unless you are some, really priced low and there's an incredible feeding frenzy on your home, which happens, but not very often anymore. If there's one of those, you may not have to pay the buyer's closing costs. So you have closing costs, which consists of your commissions and title company fees, etc. They have their closing costs, which can consist of commissions, and many of them are wanting you to pay their commission. That's kind of the trend we're seeing, but also their closing costs. So closing costs, depending on the price of the home, can be anywhere from 9,000 and up, on a $200,000 home and higher for higher. And the average closing cost assistance in the San Antonio multiple listing service right now is above $8,000. So I had a seller the other day said, well, we don't want to list with you because we don't like that closing cost thing. I don't know how to politely say, lady, it's not me. It's the market. And that's what buyers are asking for. Ask any agent. When they go to write offers for their buyers, are they asking for closing costs? There's several things we can do up front about that makes your house more marketable as well. So again, I'm Cathy Naiser. I've done this a long time, and I study the market and I really work constantly to get your home sold. So call me and let's talk about how we can get you where you want to be. Thanks again for watching this video.